Uh-oh. Oh, I'm not. Hmm. Hold on, guys. I gotta make sure I'm on and everything's working. I'm having issues. So if you can't hear me, just hold on a minute. If you can't hear me, I guess you aren't hearing shit. Come on, stream. Oh, that explained that. I'm not on my Wi-Fi on my phone. There's been issues I'm having with my other thing. Hold on a minute, guys. Sorry. As soon as my phone catches up with the Wi-Fi, I'll be able to tell whether or not y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all can hear me. Good. Hello and welcome. So today is a twofer. The first thing we're going to do is, well, the main thing we're going to do is this is chapter 4, part 4 of the story review, the kind of end of chapter, end of season thing I like to do. That's going to be replacing the locker review, which has been abandoned now. We're not doing the locker review because I'm pretty much, I mean, we may do some more locker series, but we're so far away from the end of it, I believe, that unless I get a lot of time to do it this next week, it's probably not going to happen. So this will be the replacement for it, and I would like to come in at the beginning and end of every Fortnite chapter to stream, and you'll see me at least on those days. But here's the big news. I have a job. I won't tell you where, because I don't, unlike my current job, I care to keep this job. But we'll say that it is a full-time job. It is an office job, and I will be there at some extremely awkward hours. I will have less time for streaming. When I game, it will be on my own time or with my son. And writing takes place of importance above streaming, so most of my free time will be used either doing housework or writing or hanging with my son. So this is going to be the first of a 7-day streak of streaming. My final week of regular streaming. If you're showing up for the stream, if you're showing up in the VODs, and if you're showing up in YouTube, where I get most of my views, I'd like to thank you for joining me for several years of just small time streaming. I appreciate my amount of viewers. I will miss streaming a whole bunch, but honestly, again, it isn't as important as some of the other stuff. I will not end streaming, but I will only show up during like some important times or when I just have some extra time on my hands and nothing else to do. Maybe on a week like this where I'm alone. This week, aside from any emergencies, I am on my own. Well, as far as I don't have my son to entertain and no friends to hang out with. And I currently still work at the last job, so I'm getting lower hours. Due to that, I will be able to stream every day. Starting today through Friday, we'll have about an 8-ish o'clock playtime. Allows me to take my meds at 6, which I have moved back to compensate with what my next 7 weeks, of my first 7 weeks of my job time's going to be. I'll have to redo that again after the 7 weeks. But right now, yeah. And then, yeah. So, this next 7 days is my last regular stream. We'll be on a lot of Fortnite, Cyberpunk. Saturday night, aside from any emergencies, I plan on finishing the medium. The medium's unfinished. We're towards the end. We're going to get on Saturday night, probably around 7, 8 o'clock. I'm going to play until we're done, even if it takes us into Sunday morning, because I have both days off, and it'll be fine. I don't actually start my new job until the 27th, so you may still see me stream a little next week, and the week after I get, oh, yeah, wait, what time is it? So this week, next week. So next week, I guess. You may see me stream through next week, but not as prolifically as I'm doing here, because we'll be back trading off the child. Um, my last day with Heb is the 22nd, and I'm going to spend that week getting ready and relaxing and preparing myself for a full-time job, which I'm honestly completely frightened to be part of. Like, what if I go into this job, the first real job I think I've ever had, because no part-time retail doesn't count as a real job. And I just suck at it. And they're like, no, go back to retail. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. Ugh. Anyway, away from that now. Um, we're heading into Fortnite. This is, again, a story review, which means we would hop into a map and talk about the chapter 4 for story. I had planned to do this after the beginning of the next chapter, but now that I'm thinking of it, when I do this, I may do this before the end of the last chapter, because we won't have the last season, because we won't have the map to do this, and I'm having that issue now. We're going to go in, but it's chapter 1's map, so we're going to do this while on chapter 1's map. Also, as you can see, interesting enough, oh my god, we have our very first, definitely supposed to be a kid's skin inside Fortnite. If you don't know who this is 11 from Stranger Things. At the time of these clothes showings, this is either going to be from the last season or the season before, where she's in late middle school or mid high school age. So she's like somewhere between 15 to 16, 17 years old in the TV show. So this is the first skin. Well, we've had plenty of skins where they look like kids, like we're pretty sure they're teenagers, like May. This is the first skin we are aware the character is supposed to be a teenager. We say we're aware the character is supposed to be a teenager because Millie Bobby Brown is an adult in both of those seasons, which may be how they get away with this. But this is technically a teenager as a kid, as a character. She comes with herself. She comes with 3 different styles: her in the Hawkins lab outfit, and her with the weird hat thing on. She comes with a waffle. Look at the waffle. It's awfully... Oh no, it's dripping syrup. Like, what's the same stuff? We have the diorama. Let's see, it was a telekinetic teen who escaped Dr. Brenner in Hawkins National Laboratory. Waffles on the go. Time to do her diorama. Really, Fortnite? Hopper's cabin diorama, where she built a diorama of her and her pal Hopper. This is Steve's Bat, a Harrington Monster Fighting original. This is from season 1, actually, I think, where Harrington becomes like a... I remember he fights the bat in the first one. I don't know if he has his bat until the second one, though, when he becomes an actual monster fighter, or if this is a bat that he gets from Josh. I honestly don't remember. Huh. And then this is Eddie's spear from the last season. Eddie became a breakout character. I'm honestly surprised he's not the person who got into Fortnite, because he's technically an adult. His character, and he was a huge breakout character. I think this swing's weird. Let's see if I can swing it. Nope, I can't swing it. Okay, whatever. They also have Hopper and Demogorgon. I went ahead and bought her, of course, and I added these 2 back in. Oh, I forgot, she also comes with this. Using her psychic powers for awesomeness. Wait a minute. What does this do? It has an edit style. I didn't even notice that. Oh, it's got an upside down style. Hello. That's freaking cool. Hold on here. What does this Demi have on his back? Yeah, we're going to change Demi's back to upside down cabin. So yeah, I added... So these are my current characters that are new. We have Little Whip, the Night Lady, of course. We have the Stonefire dude, the Cuddle team / Raven. I got this dude, which was released. And this guy, we're still having glitches in Fortnite, is a card member. I didn't even realize this when we were fighting them last season. This is a card member, which leads us to understand that as far as I can tell, the card game members are part of what's his name's team now, whether that's by choice design or by loose. We'll talk about that in a minute. We also have or these guys, these two added in for Millie Bobby Brown. I mean, 11. And then our randoms are set to Chapter 1 OGs and the new guys. So you can see here I have Darkness Jonesy. Jesus Christ, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Our DJ Yonder's Cape. This is that one bounty hunter from Neo season. I can't remember her name. This ship from Guardians of the Galaxy, and DJ Yonder's Fall, actually. Interesting. And then this is all set to either new, or actually I don't know if I put the new ones on there yet. OG. And there we go. So first thing we're going to do is get into creative. Our little disappointing creative lobby. Talk about Chapter 4. And disappointments in Chapter 4. And our continued fear that Epic's becoming lazier and lazier as it goes on. Oh, that reminds me, I will not be watching too much of the manager. I'll come back to check on it because I have to read this script I wrote. What the fuck? There is a badass, I guess, probably freaking AI created version of Keanu Reeves as a Sith. That would be badass. He would be a badass Sith. Keanu Reeves be a Sith. Chapter 4, Season 4, Fortnite story. Up. How are y'all doing? Oh look, it's Mrs. Booba Bounce. I still say we need to make a mature version of Fortnite where bounce boobs and blood is allowed. Gore, damage, stuff like that. The gore would have to be when you down a character person. Like the last shot takes off a chunk of their body or something. Or boobs go bouncing away. If you don't know what I am referring to as bouncy boobs, and you did not know, back in this season, when she was first released, it was found out that they had introduced physics to chests, because in real life, boobs do move. They're not just still items that stay still even when they're in brawl, they move. So when they did when you did the friends greeting emote with their hands up in the air and bouncing around, they were very obviously physics engaged. The physics has been removed directly after that. There's few skins those exact same physics exist, but not on boobs. The easiest one I can think of is Peelybone. His guts have those physics in it. His guts will move around like her boobs did if you do the frenzy emote. Because it's much more kid-friendly to show intestines bouncing around than chests. Yeah, look, it's the disappointing creative hub. Yay. We're just going to go in here. Of course, we're not going to do much with this map because we're not in the right map, so we're not going to be able to look around and review the map, which is why I need to review the map. Now, we're not going to do a map review for OG season because, hello, that's Chapter 1's map. But, I'm kind of map reviewed at the beginning. Depending on how long this takes us, maybe we'll do another map review comparing Chapter 3 to Chapter 1 or something. But honestly, meh, whatever. We're just going to get here and talk. And not going to zoom around the map might mean this is going to take less of a time. I only go on the map here because there's going to be no music playing. If there's any music playing and we're on the background, we've learned a long time ago the shits at Twitch will turn off my sound. Or the shits at YouTube will shit their pants. Look, guys, it's greasy. Woo. Did I take off fall damage from that? Hold on here, guys. We're gonna try something. They did. They removed fall damage. They removed full damage from editing? Let's see. Also, this crowbar with this knight outfit, which was not on me earlier, slaps. Yep. Also, that didn't spread. Cool. Sorry, I'm quickly looking for some issues. There's time errors that are either oversights of the developers or purposeful time issues, which I'm going to just pretend is the second one, because I'd hate to think Fortnite got so lazy they lost track of how their cities used to be built in Chapter 1. Especially since when all they had to do was copy and paste Chapter 1's building's entire map. But first thing, we're here for Chapter 4, not Chapter 1 today. This is the Chapter 4 Season 4, or the fourth part of the story cleanup for Fortnite. Basically, what we came here to do is talk about the story of Fortnite. Now, honestly, story-wise, it seemed Chapter 4 was lacking. Brittle, didn't give us much, but when you dig around, there's a story, enough is a story for us to be able to talk about it, huh? At least. So, let's not hop in cars, because you can't hop in cars right now, and talk about the story. What we can learn about the events, skins, and chapter now we're in the final season tells us. The Season 3 map. At the start of the Chapter 4 Eclipse would arrive. At the start of Chapter 4, the Eclipse would arrive, either porting areas in or building them in arrival. If the former, the areas could have come in overnight. If the latter, it probably took months to build the 3 giant fortresses, and even terraform the land, so between 3 and 4 it could have been a few days, or let's say a year. We know a few days because he's been spending that time collecting items, such as the head of a golden god, Midas's gun, and his hand and such. All around all 3 areas were a circle of propane-fed devices that's purpose was unknown. They could have been part of a giant teleportation device, like Stark's tech in Chapter 2, or terraforming devices to change the land and climate around as needed, such as the polar area becoming more of a tropical area, and the beach getting a new look to it in the southwest. We're going to just zoom around once in a while so you get new locations every time while we talk, every chapter. So the big Q always working. Now, the fact that he was going back to the past has some implications. We learned this season that 0 Point does not apparently split realities when you change the past. This may be a security feature. We do know the multiverse exists in Fortnite. Fortnite is based around a 0 Point that connects all the multiverse. But we also know that the 0 Point exists inside Reality Zero, its own reality, or this island exists. We know because of that, this reality is super important to all other realities. You collapse this reality, you collapse all realities. So there's a chance that what we were told this season, in the OG season, the 0 Point seems to have a safeguard to keep it from splitting. We know that the 0 Point exists technically in 2 realities. There's a flip-flop of this island's reality. You have the inside the loop and the outside the loop. We don't know exactly how that works, but that seems to be the 2 realities it splits in. But it seems to have a set safeguard to keep it from splitting into even more realities. And that safeguard seems to make the 0 Point act like the terrible time travel story of friggin' Back to the Future. In Back to the Future, they acknowledge alternate timelines exist. They acknowledge that they can move between alternate timelines by changing the past. However, in Back to the Future, they somehow end up in a different timeline by going backwards instead of forwards, so they somehow slip into an alternate reality while time traveling the wrong way. That said, the idea in time travel there also rejects that issue, because when Marty, in the first movie, when Marty is changing the past by falling in love with his own mom, he starts disappearing because she's no longer going to fall in love with his dad. So they pretty much destroyed reality. What the hell? Ooh. So yeah, based on that, that is where 0 point is. Whatever happens in the past affects the future. The Sloan describes it sort of like any changes we put back here, or any changes Jonesy puts back here, would ripple forward and completely change the future. Even Sloan's like, I'm not even sure this is my first time writing this note, because I could be in an alternate future than I was 5 seconds ago. I don't know how many times you've changed the future by now. Now we don't know exactly what Jones's plan is back here. He could change the future in plenty of ways. If the rocket hasn't launched, because time seems to be messed up at the beginning, he could stop the rocket from launching, or hijack that rocket. And that would stop the rift from forming, which hasn't rifted in the sky, so maybe he's already done that. Because look, there's no rift in the sky. If the rocket launched and Kevin isn't here, there should be a rift in the sky. Now if we go over here, the rocket isn't here. Which indicates either A, it hasn't been built yet, which doesn't make sense because that was around Season 4 when that happened, even before. The Visitor didn't build the rocket, the Visitor repurposed the rocket. The rocket was already here. And the fact that the Visitor's place is all cleared up and the IO place is abandoned down there indicates it's way past the Visitor's escape to get into the rocket. So yeah, the past might have already been changed. Something stopped the rift from happening in the sky, or stilled the rift early, yet Kevin the Cube is not here, so we're not entirely sure how that's going to play out. And little other changes are showing up too, which seems to be time being restructured wrongly. For example, if you go over to Tilted Towers, instead of what they call the Trump Tower, the Castle Tower, we have the insurance agency, which shouldn't show up till like after the volcano event. Right after this Kevin event, right before the volcano event. It replaced the building Kevin's bush. I'm not even sure it was here. I'm almost positive this was. Maybe I thought it was supposed to be over here somewhere, but I may be wrong. It may have been there, but either way, it's not supposed to be there right now. In fact, if you go in here, stop line. You'll find the diorama of future events which have yet to happen. So you've got the meteors, the rocket which did happen, the meteor which did happen. We have Kevin the Cube rolling on Tilted, and we have the volcano. The volcano and Kevin have not happened yet in this timeline, which means this entire building has been rifted out of time, possibly from this thing's post. No, because even after the volcano, this was gone. After the volcano event, it became neo-tilted. So this building has to be coming from Chapter 2's map. This is Chapter 2's building, which technically had been floating around in space until it ended up back here. Now, what time this was rifted here from, we don't know, but it's out of time. Now, some people might be going, well, maybe the Fortnite Epic just screwed up. But I like to think they have some semblance of control over their story still. So I'd like to say that is not a screw up, but a purposed redoing, which is something I'd like to add to. I'm going the wrong. Fuck, where am I? I'm gonna go this way. So another thing we've noticed, and this is the only other one I'm aware of where things are out of place, I noticed there was something wrong with this before. It's the 2 barns. There were never 2 barns. We're missing the house. The house is out. It's gone. And the barns have copied themselves. Now, the question is why? What happened? So either they lost the model for the house and didn't feel like rebuilding it, or for some reason they're showing that things are out of whack and the barn copied itself over here. It's not a completely perfect copy. Like, the building itself is the same, but over here we have a gray. Oh no, they have one there too. But over here we have some other different stuff, so it is almost a complete different copy. The hell? If we go over here, it's like that. If we go over here, Yeah, it's a full-on copy. So, okay, can I get it out, please? I didn't mean to do that. So for some reason, this barn has copied itself into where the house is supposed to be. Is this a Fortnite epic oversight? Maybe, but I'd like to say it's part of the storyline since it's now fucking canon, and say time screwed up and copied itself to barns and removed the house. I'd like to say that because that makes the game sound much more cooler than, oh, epic fucked up. Let's walk around the barn for a while while we talk. Hello, Scarecrow. So anyway, I bring this up because if if the vampire, if Thorn is going to the past and collecting things and changing the past, that means, help, I'm stuck and I can't get up. That means he is changing the present at the time we were there. When he cut off Midas's hand and stole his weapon, who knows what he changed? Maybe he stopped the event. Maybe he stopped the event, which was a huge event. Maybe he stopped everything Midas did from the beginning of his time here. Who knows? And I guess the reason I bring that up is we might have a full-on reason why we've gone to the past. If Sloan was able to determine this, she could determine that maybe these changes to Fortnite were just stabilizing the entire reality, not just the 0 point, which, remember, at the time we left it was kind of snoozing. But all of Zero Reality itself, bringing these changes forward. Did Thorn mean to change reality? Did he have an in-game? Did he have a reality he wanted to make? Maybe. Or maybe he's just a kleptomaniac and the changes he's making are just kind of a side effect of his kleptomania, because the guy liked to collect things. The guy was obsessed with collecting things, even little tiny wobbly blobblies. Anyway, back to our story of Chapter 4. At all three places aside from Thorn are guarded by souped-up card gang members and X7 soldiers from the IO War. I don't know if the 7 troops were always vampire allies. It could be the Collector is the boss of the card getaway gang, though. The card gang first showed up in Chapter 1 to heist the loot lands and have popped in and out of the storyline for minor reasons. In Chapter 4, they popped up with the vaults hoarding money. One I used a porta potty to sneak into, which you can see on my FN shorts on YouTube. There's the big Hugh. Always working for Hugh? Or if so, what does that mean? If not, why now? If he's the true leader of the card gang, or also known as the getaway gang, that means he's been klepping things from FN since Season 1, which makes sense since his cards have been here. If the 7 soldiers work for him, that means he could have been manipulating the 7. If not, well, he's a vampire. Vampires in lore often hold mystical control over mortal minds, and his face lines mimicked on a serpent's mask could indicate mind control. So, the castle. So, in the 4th chapter, around this area, where pretty much where Pleasant is, was a castle for 3 seasons. It was the source of control for the original Geno copy, or whatever the heck he was, and his apparent 2 kids, the prince and princess. By Season 4, it's just removed, and in its place is the Central HQ Eclipse Estates. Eclipse Estates was like a hotel or apartment area, but also acted as offices and centralized area for Thorn. In the basement, all the places there's vaults, but in the basement was Thorn's vault with him guarding it. And in the further in basement, we learned was his, well, I mean, we pretty much guessed it anyway, but was his time machine. In the southwest, the Crescent Island was built out for relentless retreat, nixing a favorite landing spot of mine, the little island. Out of 3 new landing spots, this was my least favorite. Making it to the vault was a pain, yeah. Getting the vault, and that one isn't impossible, but it was the least easiest to do. So, wasn't a huge favorite place of mine. But it was a pretty area with, like, the beach set up and everything, little retreat. In real life, it would have been a nice place. Uh, why is the map doubled? That's weird. Was this always something? Is there a reason this area has been so built differently? Huh. Yeah, that's not like that. That's only around the farm area. Maybe they plan on doing something to the farm. Once we're out of the farm area, it stops. Weird. See if that's like that over here in these areas. Ooh, I can't go under here. Weird. Truly weird. Quadruply weird. In the northwest east area, there's icy aim. The icy aim labs had been became a circle of tropical surrounded by ice. This was a hotel and probably my favorite building of the three. It had a lot of rooms, if not the most rooms. It had an easy way, several easy ways into the basement, which is one of my favorite places to land of the three. Honestly, the Eclipse States were probably the best gameplay addition to the entire Chapter 4. Mega's fun, but a lot of the Mega buildings had little places to go into or were primarily empty, solid areas. And honestly, the getting around with the zoomy zoom things, the grind rails were fun, but kind of a hassle. I never really liked circling down on Mega, even in Team Rumble, because it feels like a place that should be fun to play for snipers, but there isn't enough hidden high vantage points on the buildings for snipers. Like, if the entire buildings were open, that would have been a great sniper place, but most of the high vantage points are too obvious for snipers to hide in. And since they've already did the whole your snipers now go into like Call of Duty thing, sniping is hard enough as it is. So, for the Chapter 4 characters and their storyline, our first character is Nolan Chance. I always thought he looked strangely like a Jonesy Midas mix-up. He's listed as a mastermind. He's an old criminal familiar with or from the island. He's also an acquaintance of Sloane's, and she reluctantly calls him in, as they have a shaky past. Nolan calls in right off and means Nolan's calling right off means Sloane's full plan was theft from the start, because that's what he does. He thieves. Nolan's dice indicates he's played casinos before, most likely. Nolan's items indicate he's tactical but ready to flee, which means that when we hear he's had trouble with other people in the past, maybe he's fled crime scenes leaving other people to take the falls. This could be exactly what happened. I have memories of breaking down into here all the time and getting those chests. Oh my god. As much as this map is aged poorly, all the memories of this place. I like revisiting it. It's fun. Piper Pace is relatively simply a driver. Daytime job she runs, or helps run a delivery for pizza, for PD Pizza, whatever the frick it's called. But, her, what do you say? Her actual job, other than that, is as driver for thieves. Apparently no one's used her before, but he's familiar with her, or at least is familiar with her work. As drivers don't usually commit the crimes. They sit outside with the hot engine running, getting ready to get away. They're expert drivers. They can outdrive police if they're good at it, and she's an expert driver. That said, there is an interesting Easter egg with her. If you equip her fall, you get these yellow lights, and it is almost indicative of an old kid's video game. I used to have it. The video game was simple, and it wasn't really even much of a video game. It was just a dumb little toy for kids. It was a steering wheel and a little square set up behind the steering wheel. You turn it on, and those yellow lines that look exactly like her fall would be drivable in. I can't remember if you could hit the cars or whatever, because you have to realize this was around when I was tiny. That's how old it is. That may indicate that Piper Face has some experience with that. Maybe that's why. Hello, hello, hello. What? Guys, is Kevin on the map, or is this just a mess up in creative? Couldn't have gotten far. I was on this yesterday. This may just be a screw up in creative. Sorry, we're pausing here. I don't see a giant purple cube anywhere. Here's my purple cube. I might be perturbed. Oh, I forgot about the circle tree. Huh. The lake's still intact. Yeah, there's no Kevin. That's weird. So these burnt circles yesterday, when I last played, were a cactus circle. This is where Kevin destroys a whole handful of cactuses, and then comes. Oh, I can go to this ground. Comes down right here. A long time ago, this is where Ninja was like, I don't know, somewhere over there fighting, and lightning came down, and he's like, "What's this?" And I don't know if they timed it because Ninja was right next to it, or that was just a coincidence. Anyway, back to our thing. Piper's Face also has a hyperspace set, which may indicate that other than being a driver, she is familiar with space travel. Maybe. That might just be because she's a speed demon. We don't know, but it is kind of spacey looking. Fish Sticks is next. There's not much to the background for Fish Sticks. He's a musclehead. He seems to be working for Slappy at the start of this, the drink brand. And he likes to work out. He's a fan that you are a fan of, Slappy, by the way. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. He in a heist, he would probably be the muscle. Though they do have one. They do have one indication that he came down from the ceiling Matrix style to steal something. So he does participate sometimes. Our next one is May. She's hacker and explosives. She seems to love to hack things. It's like her first choice is to hack things, but her second choice is to blow shit up. She seems to like to do both. She must be a gamer. In fact, I think one of her sayings somewhere is, "If I can't hack it, I will blow it up," or something like that. Paradise Palms. Oh god. Wait, that also has an underbelly. That's so cool. This might be just some way they created it. Oh, another pool. I'm looking for secrets, secrets. I got a secret under my fin. Secrets. Antonia is the last regular member of the team, other than us, of course. She seems to be a guns expert, like really good guns expert. She's also got a mask on. She also dresses quite fancy and rich. We do know that through some of the storyline, she's worked with Nolan before and has been felt betrayed by him. Interesting that environmental fires don't work in this mode. When I can slow things. Here's my yawn. Hello. I can ignore. Hey, I have coffee in me. Our next person is not technically part of the heist, but might be a heist, like a thief member. Oh man, at times I used to be up here. Just sniping people from over here, like pop, 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 pop. That'd be Kabi Lame. Kabi Lame is a character from our world. Who's not entirely sure when he got pulled into the Fortnite universe. He's a YouTuber. He's the guy who did like the disappointed loose Spider-Man outfit because he's not muscle bound like the other guy who was wearing the Spider-Man outfit. But his most famous thing is where he sees something dumb and he does that hands forward shrug thing he has an emote for in this game. That said, while we don't see anything really in story for him, other than he does get a like African outfit with like some cool looking priest looking stuff on him. That's something weird. In the actual trailers, the actual Kaveh Lane in live action portray him as a thief. So there's a good chance he's another thief, like possibly part of another team of thieves or something. And he seems to be focusing on Thorn as well, since Thorn has collected all the cool stuff. Then, and not last, but near last, we have Kato Thorn. Kato Thorn is a vampire, and he is a kleptomaniac and collector. In Season 3, he's the person who had you collect the Cube of Catastrophe Cup. He tried to collect the little wobbly things, the coral buddies, but we stopped him. And lastly, he had somebody keeping an eye on the explorers. And lastly, we have Ahsoka. Ahsoka isn't too integral to the central storyline. She's another Star Wars member. Is not entirely sure how she ended up in here because there's no ships hyperspacing in, but she does appear to be able to create a sideways rift to give you the lightsaber like the other ones do. And it seems that she's parked on that island, on that planet she's parked in her TV show, where they lead off to find Thrawn. I'm sorry about the yawns. I don't know where the yawns are coming from. So story-wise, on the map characters. In the maps, we had Nolan in a barn in Frenzy. He seems to be headquartered here. He uses a merc and so on. Pepper Pace sits at her apartment in Slappy? That's the name of it. And near her pizza, she can be seen wandering between there and her pizza job. Her car, I believe, is there. And yeah. Welcome to the hero's place. Now, I noticed something here. The hero's place here is intact. I can't remember when the hero's place became destroyed. I can't remember if it was this intact in Chapter 5, because by then, it should have been abandoned. So this leads me to suspect maybe this could be moved out of place, or we might be getting I don't mean to do that. We might be getting a rocket thing out of time and place. This looks all intact, and there's nothing wrong with it. But there is this down here in case you get stuck and can't fly like this. They also have it in little lower areas, but if you fall in the water, you die. Fish Sticks is in a house in a northwest of Retreat. Spends his days selling slap and working out. Towards the end, he has you collect a bench and not bench. I'm sorry, a workout items to put near a workout bench for the Coral Buddies. And I doubt he's really creating a workout place for Coral Buddies because they are the Coral Buddies. More than likely, he's just creating like an aquarium that they can live in. Ooh, you're yelling every 5 seconds, aren't I? Holy moly. Antonia is on the top of the barn floor. She seems to be wanting to hang out with Nolan. Maybe there's something between them we don't understand. Which is why she joins after he gives her a ring. Should we give her a ring for him? Kabi Lame appears to be walking around the secluded spire. No idea what that is. And Meowscles is back in his usual wear near the Mayday line mark. We also have Love Ranger, which is in Rumble Ruins, and may feel at home there. A Renegade Shadow in a house near the slabs. Agent Peely appears to be working as a spy for someone near Springs and Lakes. He may just be spying for himself, because Peely's not the brightest bulb in the bunch. Arctic Assassin is in the Hollow Whispers east of Creaky. I think the Hollow Whispers is one of the icy areas. Count Deku, or whatever you pronounce her name, is a vampire and a pop star, and is unclear if she works with or for Thorn. She does have interaction with the Hunters, and she's in an old castle tower from the now abandoned royal family's castle. Bullshark seems to have the robot guy seems to have joined the explorers in Creaky Compound. Royal Rumbler is in Brutal Bastion for no reasons. Beast Mode Rhino, another one, is in Breakwater Bay, the castle town in the top left corner of the map. Sunstrider which is the kind of potty-licious lifeguard lady from Chapter 1 was seen the lifeguard swimming area by the Eclipse Estates, with what used to be the moat. Fishstick is also now an explorer in Creaky. Joni Scarlet, which is a vampire hunter, seems to have set up her operation in Kenjutsu. She's most likely aiming for Thor and other vampires that have invaded. The Autumn Queen is out because it's autumn, or was out, and is in like a foresty autumny looking area since we didn't have actual changes of seasons. Shimmerdusk, which is a vampire, and is unclear who she's teamed with, is staked outside Mega City. Phaedra, the kind of weird octopus emo lady, is at the collapsed gas station. I think that's who Phaedra is. Phaedra is, right? Yeah. May, the hacker, is actually camped by the water, and we know that she's trying to hack the van to make something out of it. Victoria Saint, who is also a hunter, she's the cowboy platinum hair lady, is in Breakwater Bay, most likely set up base there to hunt vampires. Agent Jones has finally landed and is at the barn. We don't know if James Jones has been in space this entire time, or if he's just been on the island in secret. Mincemeat, which is a live, living Halloween meat pie monster, is hunting the ruins. Heartbreak Ranger, which is the fire demon version of the Stonesy thing, is in Rumble Ruins. And Phantom Meowscles is in Shady Stilts. Fogstick is in the mud near Creaky, and lastly, Pillybone is hunting Steamy. In Week 0, Sloane, while working in the shadows, is missing. Having abandoned her camp, Sloane was discovered in Season 3, where she built a projector noting the eclipse ordained arrival from ancient times on the island. In Chapter 1, as the moon covered the sun, the eclipse places came with Kato, possibly indicating immediate replacement or Thorn's ability to block the sun so he can walk about like in Sarum. We know Kato is traveling through time in Zero realities, so new theory indicates the time travel Zero warps Zero through time. Midas now missing hand, weapons removal may have changed history. We already talked about that. Also, we know he has Bunker Jonesy, who famously has powers to see the future. When he got Bunker Jonesy and why he has them is for question. Bunker Jonesy was originally Jonesy. He got trapped down in a bunker with Peely for a decade and came out Neo. Now, Bunker Jonesy, of course, now is just a copy of Jonesy, but yeah. Nolan chooses a team that doesn't want to do it. He includes the Popstar Vamp, who warns she's too popular to do sneaky things. The Snowy Ramirez says she's trying to rehabilitate her image as an ex-con, and Agent Peely thinks you're blowing his cover as he stands in a pond. In the second week, he then hires Antonia, the gunner. She first says no as he double-crossed her, but we help him steal a ring from Throne's vault in the ruins, and that wins her over, or pays her off. Piper actually likes the idea of helping, but has us help her steal muscle car parts for her car to prove our worth. In the 4th week, it is the 6th B-Day of Fortnite, so we don't do anything but eat cake and probably get constipation from eating cake. This has to be one of my favorite drops of the entire first chapter. I loved coming up here. It felt safe. You could get a scoped weapon. You could snooper people from up here. Love dropping here, honestly. Also, something my son pointed out, there are communities in the mountains around the Chapter 1 map. Now, on the other side of the island, these mountains didn't exist. And remember, when we got back on the Chapter 1 map, we were still on the other side of the world. We didn't come back to this side of the world. We just flipped the entire island. So these are still, before the destruction of the island, these lived in mountains around us were still there on the other side of the map. With freaked out people watching the entire island go whoop. And up until the island and the world got destroyed, and they probably died with it, unless they got evacuated with all the islanders. Which are sitting at home, and then suddenly you look out your window and the island's vertical, and you're like, what the shit? Anyway, week 5, Fish Sticks is busy. First he's working, we go for Fish Sticks, but first he's working as Slap, which appears to be working with or for Thorn. When that falls through, he only agrees when you help him build a gym out of river trash he got from the Coral Buddies. Now, at this point, I get a lot of my stuff from, when I research this, from different people, Post Lost Facts, Top 5 Gaming, a bunch of different online text areas, Game Informer and whatnot. Top 5 was like, I think this is the part where the writers gave off. I thought it was probably the cutest thing of the season. I loved it. It reminded me of old Fortnite doing the mission like that. In 7th week, in Fortnightmares week, and one of the last weeks, we broke into Kato's inner vault, but Thorn shows up in vampire form to protect it. Meanwhile, there's 0 changes to the map for Halloween mission aside from buckets, which was highly disappointing and one of the many signs that Fortnite's gotten lazy. Jonesy shows up at Sloane's request. He's not thrilled about the vampire issue. It's unclear if he's been on the island since Season 1 or just floating around space. We meet Maggie by a river outside Mega, and appears to be trying to hack reboot vans into something called deboot vans, which we still don't know what those are for. She notes she's hacked Kato's servers and found blueprints for the time machine. She notes it runs on chrono cells, and we go to defeat Kato to steal his chrono cells. Then, between Chapter 7 and 8, Fortnite reels its lazy-ass head again, or should I say Epic. To absolutely no one's joy, not Postbacks Pat, not Top 5 Gaming, not anybody else I read, the heist happens without us. Nolan and everybody else goes and steals the time machine, and we have nothing to do with it. We come in the 8th week, the time machine is in the farm with items around it, and no longer in Kato's vault, and we had 0 to do with it. It wouldn't have been that hard at the end of week 7 to give us a mission to collect the time machine. Even a simple one is like, hey, go defeat Thorn, collect the time machine. So to kill Thorn, we go to the time machine and click a button, and it warps out. That simple. It didn't have to be like an event. It didn't have to be a CG. It could have just been that. But we had 0 storytelling content there, and they just left us out of it. And it's because in Epic, who has been famously firing half of its team, yes, Epic, I'm going to complain when you do shit like this, has, it's easier for them just to change the map than to put any effort into creating the story and the story events that help along such map changes. It's why we're seeing little to no full-on events, little to no story CGs, stuff like that. It shows where Fortnite is headed, and that would be to the garbage bin if they forget what they're doing. Fortnite is not popular because of this play. I'm sorry, Fortnite, you're not. You are a rip-off PUBG with the ability to build. That's all you are. You're famous because of your quirky characters and events and story. That's why you're popular. If you get rid of two of those three things and only have the quirky characters, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to save Fortnite. I know you want to turn Fortnite into a Robloxian looking thing for some reason, but that's not going to save you. That's going to just abandon all the people who love it and are still playing with it like me. So, watch yourself or you're going to end up with no fans, and the 5 million people you had show up for OG, you're going to get bored because they were gone because they were bored because Fortnite no longer did the things they loved and cared for. That's my rant. Anyway, the time machine either is turned on and glitches or is tested, as Chapter 1 items like the truck stop sign, Turburger statue, Divots coffee sign, and tomato statue, and etc. appear in the barn. And then in week 8, the final week... Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Then, towards the end of... hold on here. Let me get back on. I wrote down that entire rant here, and I have to figure out where I am on down here. In week 9, the items that came left along with the time machine and Jonesy, but not to the island, but into our world for the first time, except for Jonesy, of course, time machine. Tim the Tanman got the tomato statue head, head only, no, not the entire statue. Whoever has courage got the truck stop sign. Dr. Lupa, who I think may be almost old as I am, got the dusty coffee, but no plate or stand. And Ninja's backyard got Durburger. The officially are sent to kill Thorn. So why time travel? Well, like I said, possibly whatever damage Kato's done needs to be undone. Or Midas in his hand. Oh shit, what's going on? Where did all my stuff go? Got lost. That said, I'd like to point out something else. The time machine disappeared and we were still on island to kill Kato Thorn. That might indicate that we did not go back in time with Jonesy, which is why we wouldn't get a full-on, some kind of cool adventure CG with it. Still not happy with that. That Jonesy himself came back by himself, and that us fighting here is supposed to be past us fighting here, despite the fact that we're also fighting with Chapter 2, 3, and 4 skins. That he just came back by himself. That seems to be it. And he's doing something while we're still just doing looper activities to fighting. Okay, where was I? I lost my place. Of course, there's Chapter 10, which is not... I'm in Chapter 10, Week 10, which nothing really happened. Just prepared for us to come back to the past. We saw things like the sky on the sign in Mega and the music of the first chapter. I did not hit double jump. So the question would be, what damage has Kato done to the future? Did he stop the cube? If he collected the cube, do we need to save it? Did he stop the rocket? Do we need to save the rocket? Do we need to stop the rocket? Are we trying to stop the cube? Is he after the alive 0 point, which gets revealed by the cube and then picked up by the bot? Do we need to stop that from ever happening? Can we shoot Polar Peak out of the sky before it lands, since we all know it's part of the moon? And if we do, will that stop that whole event? What are we doing and how can we do it? Well, Slum's not back here, so Slum's not doing anything. But what is Jonesy's plan? What is Jonesy's goal? We don't know. So far, we just have one recording from Sloan that says he's back here to change the past and sending ripples to change the future. When we get back through the time machine, what will happen? Now, the time machine, usually I say the time machine is anchored, because the time machine seems to come back to its point, so it is anchored. Likely in other dimensions, that would allow Kato to come back to his timeline, no matter how much he changes the past. But in Zero timeline, that's just going to bring him to the future of the Zero timeline, which will be changed by his involvement. Now, in my view, not much was changed by Kato's involvement But what if there was a lot changed? What if, instead of being ported in or built over time, the Eclipse estates have always been there because of Cato's meddling in the past? That's just a thought. What about those weird propane things? Maybe they're just heaters. Who knows? Honestly. Or maybe they're just so nothing changes around them in these years they're there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him trying to build up here. I mean, we're in Retail Row right now, which is nothing really on the other map. But yeah. Whew. So where are we on time, guys? We are... And I'm hoping we're still go freaking streaming. 1 hour in. Okay. So we're going to do something special here, since I'm pretty much done here. Chapter 1 Season X map. So we're going to go through the difference. This is the Chapter 4, Chapter 1 Season 4 map, which means Dusty's Dusty Divot. I don't think some of these cities were here in the Chapter 1 Season 1, but whatever. This is the first map that really... Actually, I think Chapter 4 Season 4 was the first map that really mattered. But this is the first map a lot of other people saw. This is the big, popular map that a lot of people came into. I came in before a lot of other people came in on Season 4, but didn't get to finish 4. Hold on. Yeah, allergies. So what is the difference between this map and what will be in-game map, which we will see? Well, for one, over here, Polar Peak isn't here yet. Polar Peak should hit this side of the island, adding like a quarter of the island right here where it hits. It'll crush and freeze over Hiroshi Grove, and it'll put snow all the way through up to, not quite into Tilted, so around this area pretty much. This area looks pretty much the same up here. We get a little racetrack right here. The plate would come down and be where we'd have like creator builds. Really fun, but I don't think we're going to do that. That created a lot of problems. Lazy Link will disappear and become a pirate holdout as a volcano over here creates this into a bigger river. Of course, Volcano pops up over here and this becomes all tropical area. Risky Reels is destroyed. Tomato Temple is destroyed. Lonely Lodge is still there. Retail Row is still there until it becomes Mega later on. But even after Mega, it went back to being Retail Row when it was ported in by the scientists. Same with Tilted. Tilted becomes Neo Tilted in 9, but in X it ends up becoming both Gotham and Old West Tilted by the scientists melding. Don't think anything changes really in Salty. Fatal Fields pretty much stays the same throughout the years, aside from that Our Fatal, where it looks different. And Lucky Landing stays the same. Paradise Palms, thanks to the scientists' meddling, would, instead of being replaced, merge and become sort of like a mixture between Paradise Palm and the swamp that used to exist over here, while most of the other desert would exist. And that is pretty much the difference between this map and the in-game map. Now, are we going to see the in-game map? Maybe, maybe not. If we stop the rocket from rifting, we'll never have Kevin. Or if we stop Kevin, we'll never have Leaky Lake. If we stop Polar Peak, we won't have this quarter added on, and we won't have all the snow. If we stop, I don't know, rocket number 2 from happening, we won't have the black hole. And that would be interesting. If the let's say we get all the way to the end, and we stop or steal or whatever the last rocket. We had the 0 point about to explode, which could have done who knows what. We had time shifting in and out of places, some of it done by the 0 point, some of it done by the scientists. We had the meteor hanging over the island. If we still or stop that rocket, what would that mean for the island? Would the island still eventually hit the black hole? Would the 0 point get a control of itself? How would that in-game that? Again, we don't know the future. The future is not set because we're time traveling. So we are now going to exit and just play for a little while. We have like an hour at least to play. Again, if you're just joining me, this is my final week of full play. Thank you for joining me. Oh wait, did I not set it on? Shovels enabled. No, I'm just gonna be as her anyway. Oh, she's in random too. So wait, is this her or is this random her? I can't actually spin the character, so I can't see. Oh, this is her. Okay, this has this. Let's see what our quests have. I think our weeklies are done. These are done for another 2 days. Spectral Knight has 2 days because of the weeklies. Milestones, eliminate opponents. We could do some ranked matches. Complete ranked urgent quests. Okay. So what we're going to do is hit 0 point ranked. Zero build ranked. No, not duo. I'm not doing duo without people I don't know. Boo. Okay, since we can't do that, we're going to focus on dailies first. Damage an opponent with the stink bomb. Along with that and the other stuff, we're just going to go into... Get out of here. Get out of here. Team Rumble. Our first goal is stinking the bombs. I thought this was something she might do. Her boyfriend's texting her back. Or she's getting her needed feel on Facebook of I'm popular. She's such a teenager sometimes. Even though she was so kept out of teenagerism for a while, or kidism for a while. Well, matchmaking's taking this time. Let me turn on the managers. I know I'm still playing. Ooh, stretching. Now we're 7 minutes, so we got at least another hour 30 to play. Matchmaking. Ooh, hurry up. I found out that new OG song, which we can't hear because it's third party, is just a remix of an OG song, but because it's been remixed by some artist I've never heard of, we can't listen to it on here. It's really just basically Fortnite music remixed by some artist, so it counts as third party music. Kind of lame. Let's go fires out of here. I kind of miss the large battles we used to have on here. If you remember, there was like a Team Rumble where you would actually could die, and it would be like 50-50 mode or something like that, and you would have the storm come down like normal as you moved in. Eventually, you'd come in the middle, and the war would be intense because you still die. And the team of the last people standing were the winners. I understand they stopped 50-50 because, you know, they lost some, oh, I freaking, those players at the time. But honestly, they could still run it with their bots nowadays. I'm a 16-year-old girl with an AK in my hand. Still looking for a bomb of stink. Not a spoon bomb. Much better shot, I think. Level up. Hello. Wait, am I gold? I think gold. There's usually a chest up there. I'll shun it. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 5. I don't even like these. 2, 1, 0. Excuse mine. Yeah. With the cold scar, all I did is blow off her kneecap. So she's a zombie that probably didn't stop her very much. Let's see what's in this little house again over here, this little hut. All Top 5 Gaming was very happy to see the hut watch back. We'll see if it actually changes. I honestly don't remember which hut the hut watch hut is. I was building a bridge, you jerk. Nothing important. Yeah, but I'm excited about this job. Kinda scared. Bo. Hope I do good. I think I'll do good. Still customer service technically, but it'll be in an office. I am finished. Well, I can't see shit. Can we undo this, please? Holy cow, this isn't something I've had to contend with a lot in the original because they kind of banned them right off the bat. Damn. They hit my llama. Anyway, I don't know why I insist upon him llama. Ah, Loot Lake. We don't have a stink bomb. What's the other one? Interesting. That's something we'd have to do in that. Aim. There's the bush in the water. It's totally not obvious. Oh. What? And I'm out of. Bye-bye, Cobby. Oh, okay, or not. Let's see what we got. We got 5 stars, huh? I don't know what we'll be playing this upcoming week. Totally, we'll be switching between Fortnite and Cyberpunk most likely, maybe something else. I don't know. Just be like a go away week for me. Of course, OG will be on for 4 weeks. So again, you may get me once a week. You may get me once every week. I'll try to come in during important events at least once, just to show off the cool stuff that's going on. Maybe if I get a new game, I'm like, hey, look at this cool new game I'm playing. You'll see some of it, but not like an entire playthrough like I used to do. I think Medium will probably be our final playthrough. I came in here to go look at my OG pass. That's what I was doing. Ah, yes, we can get the green baby. Or the green poop glider. Ugh, the sound. Green poop glider it is. Do this and hit an emote, and then we get killed and try it again. Which means we need to switch our things to OG0 build, solos, and head in. I do have that one, hello. Yeah, it's not that one. Lucky Landing and Lonely Lodge. So all I want to do is visit the both, but I had to go from one to the other. I don't know. I'll try that still. Once I get free of Lucky Landing, we'll do the emote. I think if I try to emote in the middle of Lucky Landing, I'll get myself shot. And the Battle Bus Island looks so close in this version. Okay. Made it to that. I noticed that a lot of the buildings don't have any lighting if you're running a ray tracing machine. Because the lighting in these machines run ray tracing. And thus, a lot of the lighting is just missing inside places without actual lights in them. Because the sun's coming down and it is our only source of light in a lot of these places. Nothing. They seem to be busy with each other right now. Oh, I got a weapon. Who even knows that? Boop, boop. Yeah. Not what I've been to do, but okay. There. It's kind of strange seeing the map with all the race tracing effects and, you know, some of the old textures with the new grass. And some of the old textures with the new textures are HD'd up. You'll see some that are like low res by a lot. Like this street is way too high res. But that grass back there, not. This grass is. Okay, almost there. Oh, also I forgot about this. That don't work. Where's the result? Yeah, it worked. By the way, we have confirmed that the fuel gauge in this does not work. The fuel gauge is here left over in the cars. They didn't feel like removing it, I guess, because... No. And we've made it. Ow! And I ran myself over. That's smart. Why are there being chests around here? Bomb. Where did you go? Got a gnome. What is this gnome doing? This is apparently the pre-war gnome series. This guy is fishing where he's not supposed to fish. Sure, you've been arrested. Lodge a complaint with the gnome office. Sir, you've been complainted. Ooh, here comes this one. Campground. This is campground. Magazines. We have plausible gun magazine, and no idea what the rest of these are. We have about a minute to have to run away. No, I didn't do that. Do that. Okay, open that for XP. 30 seconds. I don't hear anybody shooting, tooting, or rooting. I got my son on here the other day and we got him an umbrella. They should have put in the playlist and just filled it out with like OG playlists. We could have the battle where we had to fight to save disco floors. That would be fun. Ah, hello. Normally I wouldn't. Oh wait, those run off a different... Those are a heavy weapon? Okay. Let's see how heavy this weapon is. So like a sniper rifle. Panic. I think I panicked the AI. Gosh darn. My aim. Okay, that's a good little 100 hit. That's right, cling to that gate. In desperation. Where the heck are you? Up there, huh? Remember this XP? Ooh, I'm so glad I went for that XP. So, with the extra shilling, it took about 3 hits to take him down? We have 7 people. I didn't even notice the bloop noise that said we're below 10. The other day I was wrecked by a handgun. across the highly open golf field here. On the side, that leaves four of us. Three of us. Something. I lost him, and then I heard noises to my left.